So Josie was a perfectly normal newborn. She passed the newborn screening. I had never heard of homocystinuria. It wasn't until she actually started kindergarten. So she was 5 years old. It was just a couple weeks into kindergarten, and the teacher asked to have a meeting with me, and it was like she wanted to say Josie. She thought Josie had a learning disability, but she wouldn't say those words. She said Josie seemed to have trouble processing what was on the board to get it onto her paper. And so we signed her up to get a learning disabilities evaluation. And before that, though, I thought, you know what, I better get her eyes checked again. She did wear glasses at the time. But I took her to our optician, and he kept looking and looking. And so finally he said, you know what, there's something going on with her eyes, and I can't figure it out. I'm going to refer you to Cincinnati Children's Hospital. And so we went to Cincinnati Children's. We saw an ophthalmologist there, and our 45-minute appointment turned into about a 3-hour appointment. And they just kept calling person after person into the room, and I knew there was something serious going on. And so finally they told me that both lenses in her eyes were subluxated. And I remember asking the ophthalmologist, I said, well, is this common or uncommon? And she said, it's uncommon. And I said, well, what does that mean? She said, well, in 15 years, I've had about 3 patients who've had dislocated lenses, and each of them had Marfan's. And so immediately that's what I thought it was Marfan's. And so I tried to learn everything I could on Marfan's, and she was clinically assessed. And then finally we did genetic testing. They said, no, she doesn't have Marfan's. And so there's a very short list of what could cause this symptom in a child so young. And initially they did not think she had homocystinuria because she's so dark-skinned and dark-haired. But it turned out she did, in fact, have it, and she had high homocysteine levels. And so finally it was December of 2017 when we received her diagnosis. So it was about a 4-month journey from the initial visual problems she was having in school until figuring out exactly what it was. So in that sense, I feel very fortunate because that's a short window to get her diagnosed in from hearing other patients' HCU stories.